Hello, my name is Karl, and this video is to give you some ideas of how to wear your hiking stuff and what to take when you're hiking. I live in Colorado. I hike a lot. I love to hike. Every year I do a summit in Yosemite where I take a group of guys from ministry to get a week off and just to unplug and disconnect and just enjoy some time with God and nature, just soaking up creation. And but I get asked, what should I bring? What should I hike with? How much should I hike with? Now up front, I got to tell you, I probably carry more than most people. So don't feel like you got to do everything that I'm doing. I'm a gadget guy, and I love having my stuff with me. I see people out there with shorts and a t-shirt and a water bottle in their hand. And if that's you, that's totally cool. But I have had some experiences with injuries on my hike and assisting others, and so having some first aid and having some things available, I think is wise. I think being prepared. You are out in nature, and even at a national park where there's trails, it's still nature, and there's still rocks and there's still things can go on. This is not Disneyland where there's railings everywhere, and so it's good to be safe. So I'm going to kind of walk you through not only some of the stuff that I take and show you what's in my backpack and what's hooked all over me, but why I organize it the way I do, because I don't want my stuff to be a hindrance. I don't want it to slow me down. I want to take my backpack off constantly when I'm hiking. And so let me just walk you through it. Now, the reason I'm wearing sunglasses is not to look cool. It's because it's important to have sunglasses. You want to have eye protection when you're hiking. And another thing you should have is have them on a leash. Right? I love having them on a leash because that way they can just hang down, because you're putting them on and off a lot as you're taking pictures, or as it's not bright, then all of a sudden it is bright, especially on long hikes, and that's great to have. Now, you may also notice that I've got a little Apple iPod headphone in my ear. All right. Now, you'll notice it's just one. For me, that's because I'm deaf in this ear, right? But I usually would have them both there, but you've got those hanging, you got your sunglasses hanging, and then I carry a camera because I'm a photographer, and so I had all this stuff hanging and getting tangled. I'm constantly like, which order do I have to put them on? So what I did is I actually just snipped off the other headphone. And I think even if you're not deaf, you might want to do that, because you can be listening to music in one ear, but you can still hear the birds and the wind and the waterfall and your friend screaming for help as he falls off a precipice. All right. And so, it might be good to have that other ear. If I'm with you, you scream, I got my newsboys going, I'm probably not going to be able to help you much, so sorry about that. But I do that, and then I also didn't want it dangling down. I used to have my iPod down in a pocket somewhere, so I kind of did the cop thing. I got a little bag here, and I run it up through here. Now I can get to it if I need to. This is the old classic iPod Shuffle. I love this thing. It's 8 gigs, and it's got no screen. I don't have to worry about trying to see a screen in the sunlight, and it's all voice activated and touch. So you press once to play or stop, twice to skip a song, 3 times to go actually back a song. If you press and hold, the iPod will actually read you the name of the song. So if you've got it on shuffle and you're like, what is this song? It's cool. You just press and hold, and it will actually give you the name, the artist, and the title of the track. And then if you hold it even longer, it'll start just talking through reading your playlist, and you can actually choose your playlist. So you can do it all just with this, with 2 fingers, choosing songs, choosing playlists, and things like that. So that's pretty awesome. That's what I do. So hat, shades, glasses. What else do I have here? Well, it's important to have what you want accessible. All right. So I have my GPS right here. Not everyone needs to carry one on my team because I've got it and I'm the leader. Unless, of course, I got headphones on, right? But yeah, these are great, and I recommend the Garmin. You can actually on your computer chart out your hikes ahead of time, load them all in here, so it can tell you how far you've gone, how far you need to go, where your different waypoints are along the way, and it's a great backup to have. All right. Now, you'll notice I've got 2 tubes with my hydration. You want to take water, right? You need water, right? You lose, I forget what I read, it's like a pint a mile or whatever as you're hiking and expending energy, and it's important to stay hydrated. Well, hydration packs are great. One little secret, if you want cold water all day, fill your water pack halfway with water the night before and put it in the freezer. In the morning, you got an ice cube, you fill the rest of it with water, and if you can't open it or screw it, you just put it under the hot water for a little bit and melt it enough that you can fill it up with water, and you got cold water all day. I believe you, that ice will last all day. It's amazing. Now, but this one, the reason I've got 2 is I highly recommend, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, what's called a geyser rig. All right, and a geyser rig has a second compartment that you can press this, and actually causes a pressurization, so that instead of trying to suck on this thing and get the water to come, it's under pressure, so it just comes out as soon as you bite on it, or even squeeze it. And you know how the first suck you get is usually warm and yucky because the water in the tube has been soaking in the sunlight, and so you're wanting some refreshment, and you suck on that thing and you get a warm water, so you tend to suck, spit, and then suck some more. Well, this way you can just squirt for 2 seconds and then drink. But you can also use it for a child or even your dog, to just squirt water in their mouth without them, drooling or lapping on your mouthpiece. And even if there's an injury, you get a cut and you need to clean it out, you can just spray water right in there and get it out. All right. Well, I forgot I had the shades on. I'll take those off. So that's important to have. Now, I've got a whistle here. A whistle is very important, a safety thing. They're small. They don't take a lot of room. Look at this little guy that I got at REI. But you want to have it accessible. If you do fall into a crack or you get hurt, you don't want to be taking your backpack off and digging around for your whistle. You want to be tweeting for help right away. And I've used this many times, even just to get relocated as we're kind of exploring off trail, or someone to break out for some reading and prayer time or whatever. We just want to reunite and blow the whistle and call people back. You don't want to be screaming in a hiking place. You're going to panic everyone. They're going to think, there's a bear attack or something. So the whistle's just a way to call, and people who have directional hearing, which I don't have, will be able to find you. Right now, the other thing I want to point out is I've got some carabiners here on my backpack, and the reason is a lot of times these tubes, depending on the design of your backpack, it can keep flipping over the side, and you want water, and you're sitting here, you're trying to get that tube. Well, if you just put a little carabiner right there and run your tube through there, it's going to keep it on the front of you and always be accessible. Now, what else do I have? I've got my camera here. I always have some close pockets. Let's see what's in here. Oh, I have some little iPhone lenses, wide angles, micro. That's a little gadgety thing. Down in this pocket, what do I have? Oh, I have my walkie-talkie. All right, I give every guy on our group in Yosemite, I give them all a walkie-talkie. It's got their name on it for the week, and they're responsible for it. And it's so important to have a walkie-talkie, and make sure you're all on the same channel ahead of time. Have a backup channel, so in case there's a lot of static, you can say go to backup channel. The new ones that I just got actually have an emergency button. You can press that, and then it'll do an alarm on everyone else's walkie-talkie. And then for the next 30 seconds, you don't even have to push the button. You can just talk. You can just say, hey, here's what happened. I'm on this ledge. There's a bear coming. Both my legs are broke. Whatever. For 30 seconds, you just talk and give instructions for the help that you want. So have your walkie-talkie. These can get lost. So I actually keep it in a pocket down here. And so I'm going to walk back here where you can get a little wider view. All right. Hopefully you can still see me well. So I'll keep some tissue. I love to have some tissue handy. All right, my nose gets running. I don't want to be taking a backpack off to blow my nose. And don't litter. Do not throw your Kleenex. Don't bury it. Keep your trash. All right, whatever you bring in, you take out. You don't leave anything behind, unless of course you do a number 2. Okay, you can leave a little something behind there. But your paper supplies and all that, you want to hike out with that. All right. I shouldn't have brought up the number 2 thing. You can bury your paper in that situation, right? Bury it deep, bury it good, right? But your Kleenex, your wrappers from your food and all that, please don't be a litter bug. So what else do I have here? I'm going to open up my pack here. By the way, these backpacks always have 2 straps, a lower one and an upper one. You want to use these because what they do is they distribute your weight of your backpack evenly so your shoulders won't start to hurt. I can feel the difference just as I unsnap those. So inside I'll have my iPhone. Down in here, pretty accessible. I've got a louder whistle. What else is in here? I've got a flashlight, headlamp that I can put on my hat if it starts to be dusk and I just want to have light in my path. Over on this side, what have I got in here? Oh, I've got a spare battery for my camera. I want that accessible. There's a beautiful animal. I'm trying to take a picture and my battery's dying. Boom, I don't want to be taking my backpack off again. I want to get that battery. It's small and it's portable. I'll probably have some snacks in there. Now you'll also notice that in addition to my backpack, I've got a fanny pack. Yeah, I know, fanny packs are nerdy. But again, I want to have some stuff accessible while I'm walking. So I can use these cup holders on the side just to put things in, a snack I'm eating, a Cliff Bar or whatever, water bottle if you're using that. And then in here, I just have the stuff that I want to have quickly. So in the front here, I've got a wallet. Let me mention, you want to take your wallet on a hike, all right? If you're going to be in a situation where you're getting rescued, you want your ID in there, you want your health insurance card. I just take 1 or 2 credit cards, maybe my cash card and a credit card, and of course a little bit of cash. Don't carry a lot. There's not a lot of places to spend money when you're hiking, but you want to have some money for emergencies. So I've got that. Also in there, let's see, I've got memory cards, all right? When I run out, you know, there's something going on, I want to be able to grab memory cards. I got 2 sizes because I have 2 cameras, and I'll get to that in a little bit, all right? And I got a spare set of headphones in here. I have a fisheye lens. Now, I used to have a big lens and a small lens I would take with me. And for you camera buffs, this is a Sony Alpha. Great. Sony makes great cameras. I think as good as a Nikon or a Canon, and not as expensive. They're not cheap. But for what you're getting, you can get a whole lot of value because Sony's trying to get into that camera market, and it takes amazing pictures. If you've seen the Yosemite Summit photography and videos and stuff on YosemiteSummit.org, you know, this baby made those pictures, right? So I have my spare memory cards, but actually I have 3 cameras now when I think of it. I'm a big fan of the selfie stick, all right? And because there's situations where you want to get a picture of yourself. You know, there's a big waterfall or a cliff, you know, or you know, a charging bear or something in the background. You want to be able to take this pole and again, keep things accessible. So I've got my phone accessible, and you can pop your phone on there. Now this is just the case because I'm actually filming with my phone right now. But you can put this out there. In fact, let me walk back there, and you can put your camera out there, and you can get a picture where instead of it being half your face and, you know, covering up half dome, all right, you can position it so that, you know, you're all in the picture and a great background, and you can even fuss with the angle a little bit and get to where that camera's not even in the picture. You know, look kind of like this. All right, and so I love having the selfie stick, and that's a lot of fun. So I have that down here in my fanny pack. I also have snacks. I make my own trail mix. I call it Yosemite mix just for fun. But I put in there what I like: salted peanuts, Cheez-Its, some licorice bites, maybe some chocolate M&Ms. Chocolate's good for you when you're hiking. Keeps your energy and your metabolism going. And so I just make my own. I don't like the trail mix at the store. There's stuff in there I don't like. So make your own trail mix. Go to Costco, buy all the stuff you like, throw it all in a bag, throw it in your fanny pack, and you got it. Oops, I dropped it. Oh, sorry. Here I come. Boop, I'm back. Carry a map, all right? Never trust your life to anything electronic, right? Battery dies, you know, you drop it off a cliff or whatever. You want to have a backup map, all right? And you also want to have a compass. I've got a compass. I don't keep that handy because really it's only for emergencies, so it's strapped on the back. So we've got that camera, and let's see, do I have anything else here that I want to show you? A walkie-talkie, I mentioned that. And so I think we're good. I think we're going to be able to move to the actual backpack, right? So this is what I will carry. Let me take my headphones out. In my backpack. Now you want to get a backpack that's got that breathable space, helps you not be sweating too much. And so here's my backpack. Now you'll notice a little bear there. That is Yo Bear. And Yo Bear is a Yosemite bear I found on the first Yosemite Summit. I rescued him, and I take him back every year, and I take pictures of him at different places. And that's something fun that I do with my son. So you certainly don't have to take a stuffed animal with you on your hike. But what have I got here? Here I've got my compass, and I actually have some little containers for some Advil. It's good to take some painkiller when you're hiking, if your calves are hurting or whatever. I have some migraine medication. I have a little container that I use. It's good to get a backpack with a top compartment, all right? It's empty right now, but this is where I put my lunch, all right? Because with it being on the top, it's not getting squished and flattened as you go. Now this is something you're definitely probably not going to take, right? This is just something fun that I like to do as just kind of, you know, worshiping, connecting with nature. This is a Navajo Indian flute, and so sometimes when I'm just chilling out somewhere out in the woods, you know, I just like to play my flute. So I'll give you a little sample of what it sounds like. All right, and the Indians all come out of the woodwork, and They have a great time and having a little powwow with them. But I just enjoy that. These are wonderful. I think they're called spirit flutes. If you want to look for them online, they come in different keys and different sizes. And I tried the small one, but it's really high pitched and that's relaxing for me. So I carry the one that's kind of big, and I just throw it there in my backpack. Now, so on the back here, maybe I can angle this down a little bit so you can see the backpack a little better. And I'll just have to kind of kneel down like this, all right? Cranky, we got a big one right here. So I got another pack, and in here, this is my waterproof camera. I mentioned I had 3 cameras if you count the iPhone. I got this at Costco. It's awesome. It's waterproof. This is great for when you're by a waterfall. There's just times when you don't want to risk this camera, and so it's good to have that waterproof one there. It's got another little pocket. I got some spare memory cards in there as well. I've also got just a little tool that's like a spoon and some other things. I've got some hand sanitizer, so after you are eating or handling things or using the restroom or whatever, you can use your hand sanitizer. So let's open up the bag, all right? So let me come over here, and we're just going to dive right in here. I got to kneel down. I'm trying to stay in the picture here. So I'm going to unhook this, and you want a bag that's got some good amount of compartments on it. So I'm going to open this up. Let's start with the side compartment. So what have I got over here? Well, on this side, I actually just have a flash, and it has an outside camera. This is for you photography buffs. By the way, use rechargeables. Just charge them at night, but you want to have some spare batteries. And you might think, why would you need a flash when you're hiking outdoors? Well, if you're a photographer, a flash is great to have because there's a lot of situations where the background is very illuminated and very bright, but you're on a trail and it's kind of shady. You can end up with some really dark pictures because of the exposure. And the flash, you won't even know, no one will know you even used the flash. What the flash will do is it will just flood everything close. Trees will pop, they'll be green, people's faces will be illuminated. But the flash obviously can't reach El Capitan across the canyon and so across the valley, so it's going to have no impact on the background whatsoever. And it's a secret to getting some really good outdoor pictures. I use the flash a lot. So I've got that in there. I have a pocket knife. Good to have a multi-tool pocket knife. I actually have a spare leash for my sunglasses in case it breaks or something. And it's super light, so it's not any extra weight. So that's good to have in there. And on the other side, it has another compartment like that. And in here, I carry a pair of gloves with me. You never know, there's a situation where you're scrambling or an emergency situation, or it's just cold, and you want to be able to put some gloves on. Nothing worse than numb hands when you're hiking. And then these I don't always carry unless there could be snow. When you're hiking in Yosemite in the upper elevations, even in May, there can be areas where there's snow on the trail or even on some rocks. And even though you should wear good hiking boots, these are some rubber grippy things. You can put these on your boots, and it basically gives you some cleats. If I can pull these out, they're kind of nested into each other. And so it's got some metal cleats on the bottom. Some days, if the weather looks great, I'll take that out of my bag. I've got another multi-tool. Never know, there's different situations where you're going to find you want some pliers or something like that. And I have the little pocket knife, so sometimes I'll skip this for weight, but it's one of my normal things. And then I've got a tripod, all right? Not everyone's going to want this, but if you're a photographer and you want a group photo, you don't want it to be a selfie stick. And you've seen some great pictures probably of all the guys on Yosemite Summit. I take this, it's bendable. These are great because you can actually position on a weird rock. You can actually wrap it around a tree. It's very strong. It can support the weight of my camera, and it's great. Well, let me just keep moving along here. I'm going to open up one of the outer pockets, and what do I have in here? Now, I've got a flashlight. You want to have a flashlight, you want a bright one, but you want a light one, okay? Because you're probably not going to use it unless it's nighttime. I got a journal, all right? It's good to take some time to sit down, relax, and journal your thoughts. I've got a pair of binoculars. Honestly, I don't often carry these because I have a camera with a powerful zoom, and so I'll just use that. But there's times where I don't hike with this. I always do in Yosemite, but a lot of times on a hike, I don't bother with the fancy camera. I just use my iPhone, or I'm just using the waterproof camera. It takes good pictures, and so I want the binoculars for if there's something really cool that I want to see. So if you're not the photographer type, you may want to bring some binoculars. And I've got a first aid kit, and you don't have to bring a lot, but it's good to have a first aid kit. So I've got the triple antibiotic. I've got different bandages. Got some cleaning supplies, And it's just good to have. I end up often being the guy that is helping other people on the trail, but they just no major serious injuries. Although I've been on one hike with a serious injury, and but you know, you slip, you skin their knee or something, right? And it can make life miserable if you just don't have those basic supplies. So that's my outer pocket, and oh, I've got my knife. It's good to carry a good real knife. And I've got two. I only will carry one. This is one my dad had custom made for me. It's small, it's sharp, and then but whichever one I take, I actually, can you see that? I actually wear it on my belt. And this is another one that I take, and it's got some utilitarian. It's got a good grip with a finger thing, and it's good to have that. Could actually be defense against a wild animal. You know, you don't want to be completely defenseless, but never use it with an animal. It's usually just something I need to do. All right, so let me finish my last compartment here. Flip my lunch section up, and we'll get to the main compartment. And in here, here's my hydraulic kit. I've got a backpack cover. All right, some bags have it built into the bottom. That's awesome. I have another one like that. But if it's raining, I want to cover my backpack. It's super light. It's good to have. All right, some waterproof bags. There may be things that if it is raining or the waterfalls or you know, wet day, you may want to be able to put some things in bags. I don't hike with empty bags. I just have these in here in case on that day, whatever, the rain's in the forecast, and maybe some things I want to stick in there. What else do I have in here? This is really cool, right? This is actually a filter that plugs into the geyser rig so that if I run out of water, I can actually take lake water or river water, and by just putting this in the middle of the strap, it'll purify the water. You can put muddy water through this thing. These are great on the mission field and in third world countries as well, and it works for a long time. And then I've got one little last supply case in here. Inside here I've got some spare batteries. I've got actually some spare shoelaces in case my shoelaces break. It's kind of like the sunglass thing. It's very small. I've got a headlamp. I think I had another headlamp, didn't I? So I only need to have one headlamp. And I've got a bunch of spare carabiners, because you never know what you're going to want to hang on your person. So that is basically my backpack, and that's the stuff that I carry. Like I said, you're probably not going to make a list from this and carry everything, but the principles are: have the stuff that you need. If you really don't need it, if I take something and never use it, I stop hiking with it, right? I used to carry rope, right? I used to carry a metal shovel for the number 2 situations, right? You know, there were things I used to carry that I just never used it, and so I stopped carrying it. So carry what you'll use, carry what you need. It's some things you may not use, but it's essential, like the whistle, a compass, a map, first aid. There are some things you ought to just have in your pack, and then practice putting it all on before your hike, and make sure the things you want you can reach with pockets. Maybe you won't do the nerdy fanny pack. Woo, there it is. But you want to have pockets so you can get the things, because there's nothing more annoying than constantly having to stop and take your backpack off. All right. So I hope this is helpful. If you're coming on Yosemite Summit, I hope this is helpful to you especially. I'm excited that you're coming. If you're not and you're a guy and you're in ministry, I encourage you, check out YosemiteSummit.org. It's an incredible, life-changing week out in God's creation, just completely unplugging and just enjoying some of the most spectacular natural things, waterfalls, cliffs, and granites. Oh, it's amazing. You've got to come. Or just if you just do day hikes, hopefully you got some ideas from this video, some things you want to have, should have, or might want to consider having, and how to hook it all up. So I'm going to put this all back together because I'm excited, because I'm leaving soon for Yosemite, and I want to be prepared. Oh, one last thing I'll mention when it comes to clothes. I normally don't wear a t-shirt. I wear a breathable t-shirt, and then I wear a breathable long sleeve over that to start. So as it gets cold, I can shed one layer and be back with the t-shirt. And then I buy pants that are zip-offs. So you can start out with pants. If it gets warm, you can zip off the legs and throw them in your backpack. And that's what you didn't see in the backpack. There'll be clothing in there, maybe the shirt you shed or the legs that you zipped off. And so you want to have room in your backpack for those. So I forgot about that because I'm not actually packing my clothes yet, but that will be coming, and I can't wait. So again, hope this was helpful. Leave your comments or feedback below, and I'll be happy to answer or interact with you. All right? Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.